Happy New
Dink,
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 Dink, Dink. Happy New Dink.
Dink, 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 dink.
Welcome back to the Jenna Julien Podcast. First podcast of 2K17.
1-7. Hey,
Congrats.
Hey, ooh, kill him.
Ooh,
New
kill
year.
him.
New
New
yes.
year. Same
Same
week.
New year.
New year.
How you living?
I'm living
The
good.
same.
What? Guys, welcome back to the Jenna Julien Podcast. We are so excited to be back here. We missed you. We took Christmas off. We hope you guys had a wonderful holiday with your family, your friends, yourself, your doggo, whatever you're doing. We hope it was good. And we are back. It is 2017. We are fucking here. We're fucking here to stay.
It's actually New Year's Day for us right now.
It's literally January 1st.
This is like Hangover City right now.
You know what? I think that's something that people appreciate about our podcast is that when we're fucking hungover and podcasting, we're transparent.
Girl, it's a mess over here.
On that note, this episode is brought to you by NatureBox for all your snacking needs. Whether you're hungover or not, NatureBox is there for you with delicious snacks. They have over 100 choices, savory, sweet, delicious, all of them. And they're adding new snacks all the time. Right now, you get your first 2 snacks for free. Go to naturebox.com/Jenna Julien. That's us. Snacks are for you. Check it out. Also brought to you by Lyft. Lyft is looking for a whole bunch of new female drivers. So ladies, if you want to drive for Lyft, make your own hours, use your own car, and make a bunch of money right now. They are offering a $500 driver bonus when you sign up using our URL, which is lyft.com/Jenna Julien. That's us. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. I would love some fucking NatureBox right now. I'll tell you that.
Nature books.
I am hungry.
Eat nature books.
Eat NatureBox. I'm hungry and I need a snack.
So what are we talking about today, baby?
The first thing that I want to talk about, honestly, is that legendary, iconic Mariah Carey New Year's Eve performance. Because I tweeted something out. For those who didn't see it, it was the New Year's Rockin' Eve, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was hosted by Ryan Seacrest, who works closely with the E! Network, yes. This was, like, so outrageously bad. Like, clearly there were sound issues. She was saying, I can't hear or whatever. And, honestly, it might go down in history as, like, one of the worst live performances ever. Like, it was just so outrageously bad.
It was bad on all these levels. Like, every level it could have been bad on, it was bad.
Right. So she started off, like, lip-syncing a song, and then she walks out to the front of the stage. You can see it online. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you should look it up. And she starts being like, we can't hear. It's okay, though. And all of those dancers in the background were like, I'm not losing my job today. I'm not losing my... They were dancing. They were dancing hard. They were the show goes on, no matter what.
They were the show goes on, but they were also kind of hard proof that they didn't have earpieces in, and they were still on beat.
Hear the beat, yeah.
So.
Well, obviously, she can hear somewhat. It's not like she's deaf, right?
Yeah.
She can hear somewhat. But it is not ideal when you're singing in Times Square and you can't, that's a big fuck up on somebody's part. Whatever.
Yeah, somebody probably got fired for it, but that that happens probably a lot. And you don't see performances happen like that a lot.
How many times do you imagine that this has happened to Mariah Carey personally over the span of her career? Probably
25.
a lot. Yeah. And we've all seen it happen, too, with other artists. Yep. And they do this thing where they try their best and then they'll be laughing or, like, saying something
you
else.
Improvise. You're forced to improvise.
You do the best that you can. Yeah. Or you tweet then later, like, sorry, I was off key. I couldn't hear myself. Yeah. People are like, oh, cool, man, whatever.
Yeah.
I am in the theory, though, that this was so shockingly bad.
Get ready, guys. 2K17 conspiracies start right now.
I already tweeted it. It was so shockingly bad that this was a PR move. This is New Year's Eve. You have people all around the world watching this. Yeah. So many people are going to see this, and you know it. Even if they're not watching it live, they'll see it.
So you think
to promo Mariah's World on the E! Network, which just so happened, I looked it up. Ryan Seacrest is not executive producer on Mariah's World, but I feel like the world of E! is not too big, right? It's not such a far-fetched idea that New Year's Rockin' Eve is hosted and produced by Ryan Seacrest. Yeah. Mariah has a show on the E! Network. This is an amazing amount of publicity for that show alone. And then all of a sudden she does this. Like, I literally was like cackling, laughing. And I was like, if I was Mariah right now, I'd be like, yo, I can't hear myself, but make sure you watch Mariah's World on E. Like, you know, just throw in some shit.
Yeah. So I have a question.
It felt like a purposeful bomb.
So what do you think Ryan had to do with it? You think he was part of, he sabotaged?
Well, just buy into the theory for a second for me. If this was a plan, when I say inside troll job, I mean like maybe her people.
Her PR team.
Not like NBC troll job.
Of course, yeah. So her PR team was like, hey, Mariah, take the dive.
Yeah.
Take the dive. We need eyeballs on our show. To the point where
they didn't tell her dancers. You know, like they only told Mariah.
Yeah.
And at one point, they like cut off her mic at the end.
And so to clarify, you think Ryan Seacrest was happy that it went badly?
Yeah. Or maybe Ryan knew, and then she and her people knew. It's just a theory, because immediately after he's like, no matter what Mariah does, her fans love it.
No, her fans,
it was such like a quick, almost concocted reaction to what just happened.
Felt very backhanded.
The legendariness of what just happened.
Well, it felt very backhanded for a number of reasons, like one of which, and Ryan knew this, is that a lot of the B-roll was used to cover up her shit show. And the B-roll, as much as you'd like to think it's just screaming fans, it wasn't. It was like a lot of confused faces and people talking.
Well, and dancing. Well, when you're in Times Square, I imagine you don't have the best view of the actual performance.
Of course, but I'm
Maybe
just
they
saying,
didn't even really see it. They just hear the vocal track and you're like, oh, everything's normal.
But what I'm saying is they weren't going nuts. Whatever they were doing, he said, whatever you do.
Directly in front of Mariah that was going like this.
He said, whatever you do, your fans always love it. And that was not indicated in the B-roll. Well, I have a question though, because before the performance even started, they did a little interview and he said, so tell us about your new reality show. And then she immediately says, well, I just told you not to call it that. Do you remember that?
Well, she said, I didn't name it that. Let's not call it that or something like that.
She says, I just told you, as if they had talked about it off camera. I like distinctly remember her saying, I just said, or I just told you, we don't like to call it reality show.
Okay.
And so that kind of backs up your theory that he was, happy to see this train wreck.
Well, why not? Like we know that, like when you're doing a live performance, no matter whether it's good or bad, like sometimes there are people like a Miley Cyrus that goes out with the intention of shock and awe. Yeah. Like this is a good example of not a wardrobe malfunction, not somebody falling down, or this is just, I'm going to go out there and pretend like nothing's working. Yeah.
You're guaranteeing discussions about it, even if they're good or bad. Like it's one of those things, like any press is good press, right?
Right. And all the people retweeting her tweet that was like right after she tweeted like shit happens, like I hope you have a happy and healthy new year. And Brett or someone was like, oh, good for Mariah, that's a good response. And I was like, Mariah, good for her PR people. Like that is you think Mariah Carey uses her own phone? Boy, come on.
She uses it to play Candy Crush. She doesn't tweet for herself, is what we're saying.
And she doesn't text for herself. No. Or make phone calls for herself.
Or Instagram for herself. Do anything for. But I will say that we observed she looked quite spacey. Like throughout the entire evening, even before the performance, she looked like she was on some good stuff and couldn't really focus. She was just out of it. It seemed like she was just like, oh, well, fuck it. I got to do this little dumb gig at New Year's, and here I am. All right, great. Oh, and then it just happened to be like a terrible performance.
But I mean, even that aside, is it too far-fetched to imagine someone's inner circle of people being like, just go out there and bomb, and everyone will be talking about you tomorrow?
So my question is, do you think, is part of your theory to say that there was no technical malfunction at all? Her and her team
Maybe
just
there
did
was.
That? Or could it have been that her team manufactured a technical difficulty?
I mean...
That's possible.
I watch Unreal.
Yeah, that's just, they can pull strings. You're right. That's possible.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is it too far-fetched to imagine?
Make sure you guys catch Mariah's World.
Right.
So
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think your theory is even really, I mean, it is a conspiracy, whatever, but I don't think it's far-fetched. I think it's very believable, very, it's something that doesn't really take a lot to,
well, we're all talking about it.
We're all talking about it. Here we are promoting her show. What is her fucking, is it just a reality show?
Mariah's World, yeah.
Is it her first reality
It's
show?
a reality show, y'all, but she doesn't want you to call it that. And then Ryan Seacrest is like, what would you like me to call it? And she's like, I don't know, not that.
What? You're on E, and it's called Mariah's World, and you don't want it to be called a reality show? Go! Yeah, I don't understand that. It's weird. It's weird. She kind of weirds me out a little bit.
Yeah.
When I look at her face, I don't know what's going on behind her face.
Okay, Julian. All right. Yeah. She's Mariah Carey.
Happy New Year.
She's Mariah Carey. You got to give respect where respect is due. She's still Mariah Carey. And part of her endearingness is that she is this over-the-top diva. It makes it endearing. She's hysterical.
All I want for Christmas is you. That's her song.
Yeah, and 70 white roses in my dressing room.
What?
Please. Like, her writer is famously hysterical.
Oh. Got it. Mariah's, she's a good person.
Okay,
she's pretty cool.
Okay.
We should have her on the podcast. Mariah? Is that her? Mariah?
Julian,
Sorry. You gave me a complete opportunity to just mess with you, and now I'm going to mess with you.
I think the funniest idea about you just saying we should have her on the podcast, which is ridiculous and whatever, but you can't even identify a Mariah Carey song. If I played you one,
play me one, I'll identify it right away. Are you kidding me? This is on the spot. I'm so good.
I can't do that, Julian. You said play me a song, like play a Mariah Carey song.
And I will confirm that it's her song.
Okay.
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Name another one. Okay, if I recall correctly, when we did the Julian Sucks at Celebrity Trivia Music Edition.
Yeah, what?
I'll find the timestamp. You put it in the description, whatever, when it is. I played you a part of the song Fantasy, which was off of her #1 album, which went straight to #1.
Fantasy.
And you literally said to me, I've never heard that song before in my life.
I literally hadn't. I don't even know who she is when I heard that song. She didn't sing that.
So, like, I know that maybe Mariah's face makes you uncomfortable or whatever you said. She's still Mariah Carey.
I know she's a legend.
I don't think you have a full
discounting.
understanding of who Mariah Carey is.
No, I know. I mean, like, here's the thing about the way my brain works when it comes to this stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay,
she wasn't stuck on you, therefore you don't know who she is.
No. Like I've heard all of her music.
No.
Let me finish.
You haven't.
Let me finish. I've heard a significant amount of her popular music.
Like what?
Just let me finish the thought before you ask that question. I've heard a lot of her very popular music that everyone has heard, but I don't know it by name. I've heard the song. I know the song. I've heard it a billion times like everyone else. I just don't know the name of the song, and maybe that put two and two together. I just know that I've heard her shit. That's it. Okay? So I understand the significance of who Mariah Carey is. I'm not under a rock. I know she's incredibly popular. I know she's a legend. But at the same time, I'm allowed to have my thoughts about how she acts on camera. And I think it's uncomfortable. Kind of uncomfortable.
Can you name any of the songs that she sang last night during her performance?
Oh, yeah. Let's think about that.
You watched it how many times? Like 3 times.
That one. What was that? No. Come on. What is it?
No, you're making that.
No. Where she hits a really high note. You know what I'm talking about. That song. Come on.
Okay, what's that song called?
How does it go? I want. You're the one I need. Baby, it's you. Come on, baby, it's you. All I want for Christmas is you.
Leave!
Oh, yeah, those are 2 different songs. All I want for Christmas.
Name another Mariah Carey song. Just one more.
Say, can you see?
No. Seriously.
I'm trying.
I'm being serious.
I'm trying.
Name one
Can
more.
I have a hint? Small hint.
No.
Yeah, just come on.
Name one more. No.
Come on. I need a hint or else I quit.
Just think for a second.
Okay. Mariah Carey. That one.
No.
You putting me on the spot. I can't think. I'm sorry. If you've ever been put on the spot, you know, like your brain gets a block on it. You can't think. I can't think.
What were she sang 3, 4 songs last night?
She sang 0 songs last night.
Okay, fair, but what were they?
How did they go? I want.
That's a Beyonce song.
No, she sang that.
That's called Love on Top by Beyonce.
That's Mariah. She sang it last night. Oh, wait, no. Was it a different one? I think it might have been different. I excuse you. It's okay.
Someone save me.
No, what would you rather? Me be like a Mariah Carey connoisseur and know every one of her songs? No, fuck that.
Actually, yeah, that'd be really fun if you were a Mariah Carey connoisseur.
Connoisseur. That's my new Twitter bio.
All right, Julian. Let's move on.
Oh, is that it? You're not interested in me talking about Mariah anymore?
No, you can't name the songs that you performed last night.
I can. Just give me a second. I need silence, okay? Any noise will mess me up completely. So no noise. Yeah, I can't think of it. I honestly can't. I'm sorry.
All right. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Let's talk about Ronda Rousey.
All right. So, also this last weekend, there was UFC 207. Ronda Rousey lost her second consecutive fight. Likely, people are speculating her last fight. Got knocked out pretty badly by Amanda Nunes. And it made big news, obviously, because Ronda Rousey is a big name. And she came into the sport of MMA with such dominance and star power. And it all happened so fast to the point where she was beating chicks with her judo. And then somehow loses terribly, twice in a row, like a year apart, like she just did. And I wanted to talk about, obviously there's a lot being talked about whether she's going to retire, why she lost that bad, what happened to her. You know what I mean? Like a lot of casual fans who watched her and don't understand. I just think there's,
well, just for off the top, this isn't going to be a very riveting discussion because we're both on the same page about this. We don't really have conflicting viewpoints.
You're right. We're not going to debate. I just wanted to say that this is a great example of her coach picking the wrong coach. He's the absolute wrong coach.
Drag him. I'll tell you something in a minute, but do your
okay. Edmund Tarverdian is a quote unquote MMA coach, and for some fucking weirdo reason, she ended up at his tiny, weird, creepy Glendale gym, and he had been reaping the benefits of having her be his fighter for so many years because she is an Olympic medalist judoka, which nobody is. And so she had a skill level that nobody had and was beating girls like nobody could. So she essentially won all those fights herself. I personally think that he did nothing, if anything. Well,
and also the sport, the female MMA was in its infancy.
It was in its infancy. I said this to you before. It's like the females, when they first started in the UFC, was like when the UFC first started.
Right.
There was a specialist in this fighting a specialist in this. They didn't know how to fight the whole sport. It was a fuck show. There was a jiu-jitsu fighter versus a boxer, and it would just be like the clashing of two different martial arts. Nobody knew how to do everything. And that's no exception to Ronda. I think Ronda was obviously a grappler and judoka, and then you have girls like Miesha Tate, who's a wrestler. She learned how to strike. It developed, but early on, Ronda was fighting a lot of very one-dimensional fighters, and she was and is a one-dimensional fighter.
Right.
And I say is because she decided to go with a team and a coach who didn't develop her as a fighter. They didn't work on striking at all. You look at the fight with Nunes, and there's zero striking training. There's zero striking skill. There's no head movement. There's no footwork. There's no anything that even a week, 2 weeks, a month in a real boxing coach's tutelage would have learned. And it's depressing, man. It's like very basic shit that she could have learned by leaving that camp.
That after the fight with Holly Holm, the devastating loss for her, we talked about some theories about whether or not we thought that she was going to come back or had the mental capacity to pick herself back up.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that she was going to go hardcore back to her judo roots and that she was going to show us a really nice and quick fucking armbar up in there.
I think a lot of people were expecting that.
But instead, she went out there, and I said to you right after that fight, she changed literally nothing.
Nothing.
She spent all that time training, gathering herself. I'm not doing press, I'm totally focused, which fine, maybe you are, but we both have opinions and many people do about her ability to do that because Conor McGregor got in a lot more trouble for doing that one time, let alone leading up to an entire fight. Like, why should the rules be different for you just because you would like to focus? It is part of your job description as a fighter to sell fights, and you're not doing that. So then you're like, all right, maybe she's that focused and Dana's giving her special treatment to do this.
But
maybe
she's going to go back to the drawing board and fix it.
She's going to go back to the drawing board, start from square one and build up a new way to fight.
Yeah.
Or go back to what has made her that successful.
Yes. Unfortunately,
she goes there and it's like she trained exactly the same. She did exactly everything the same and expected to win that fight.
And I hate to say
crazy.
I hate to say I told you so because I fucking did. I literally right before that fight said no matter what happens, I tweeted this. Whatever what happens in this fight, Ronda already lost because she's still with this fuckhead of a coach who hasn't developed her at all because he doesn't know what he's doing. Right. And you see that, and it's tragic because it's like. Either Ronda was going to get lucky, clinch Amanda, and somehow throw her an armbar her, which could have happened.
Totally.
Or she was going to get her ass knocked out, which she did. And I think I don't know why. I don't even really want to think about the personal dynamic of why someone stays with a coach like that because it's really kind of fucked up.
I'm sure it's complicated.
I'm sure it's very complicated. And I only can speculate so much. I just think that it's such a joke that she decided to stick with him and in turn do this to her career. And I personally think that she's young and talented enough to move camps now after
and
both of these losses
and
still have an MMA career where she actually puts up a fight against strikers.
Which I think is in essence what everyone wants.
Everyone wants that.
We want to watch
Only
Ronda
she can make that decision though.
Continue to fight. I wanted to tell you, I read an interesting article. I don't remember his name. You can look it up somehow, somewhere.
What was the website name?
It might have been MMA something.
Junkie MMA Fighting?
It might have been. MMA Fighting.
MMA Fighting? Was it?
It sounds like that. He had written it almost immediately after and was like, I wrote this kind of drunk. But he posed like a really interesting idea about Edmond Tarverdyan that maybe because Ronda is sort of, we know her nuances, that she's a little crazy, that she does do things Ronda's way and no other way. She's very sensitive. Mm-hmm. She has a particular style of how she likes to, be in the zone or have her attitude or whatever. Yeah. That all of these people being like, if only she had a real striking coach or she went over to Jackson, she did something like that, she could have been so much better. Yeah. He theorized that if Ronda had done that earlier on in her career, then maybe she would have gotten in her own way and not ever become Ronda Rousey because she wouldn't have the mental capacity to be criticized and broken down all day, every day.
Well, that's part of why you stay with a guy like Edmond. You're in your comfort zone.
And you're getting built up constantly. But, and you can read, I'll find the link for you. Like, imagine now, she finds this coach, Edmond, who is building her up and giving her what she needs to be successful. Yeah,
nonstop reinforcement.
And he really did take her as far as she could go. Because if she, which we all have talked about this and would like it, if she went and found a real striking coach and a fight camp, like we like to imagine that she'd come out of there an incredible fighter. But maybe she couldn't get through that camp because it would be too difficult for her to take that type of criticism.
I think you're right in a timeline.
It was an interesting theory that I hadn't heard before.
Well, I think that theory is right in a timeline where she would go to this new striking camp before she had lost. Because before she lost, she was invincible. Right. Nobody could touch her. Anyone who tried had their arm broken in 10 seconds. That was the reality. She had star power like nobody had before. Like she was being built up by the UFC on a ridiculous level because of this invincibility factor. Right. So for a fighter like that to show up at a new gym and be like, hey, I need to learn how to strike. That's a huge hit to your giant ego. You're right. It's like, this is a great theory. What I'm saying, and I think, to piggyback off of that theory is once the Holly Holm fight ends, you really need to have a hard think about why you lost so badly.
And a hard reset.
Well, you need to sit by yourself with your mother,
and
the people who actually care about you and know what they're talking about, which her mother has been a very outspoken hater of Edmond Tarverdyan, which I appreciate. She keeps it way too fucking real, and I love that. But that was, I think, after the Holly fight. Obviously, this is no genius fucking theory here, is you need to think about what you're doing. You need to go back to the drawing board and say, how can I improve myself? Oh, is staying with Edmund and hitting his pads and being told I'm a champ all day going to help me? Right. Oh, okay, great. Let's see what happens.
Called her out for that too.
Yeah. I mean, of course.
He put it in her mind that she is a boxer. She said that.
Amanda said it was a crazy thought put into her mind by her coach that she can box, which is, it's true and it's sad. And I don't know. I don't know if she'll ever be champ again if she keeps fighting and goes to a new camp, but I know that she can do better than she did the last 2 fights because it doesn't really get much worse.
Well, I mean, this has to be a rock bottom of one kind or another for her. This
Absolutely.
is either a rock bottom for her career, like you can't come back, or it's a rock bottom for her to truly decide to start over, which includes, fixing the people around you. Yeah. And she's been told for years to get rid of Edmund. This might be, if she chooses the rock bottom of, I'd like to keep moving forward, that's where you have to start. She knows that this time. Yeah. Though. You can no longer silence these people and say, Edmund's one of the best in the world. Yeah. He's great. You guys are all just drunk and crazy. That ship
has sailed. You have no ability to do that anymore.
You can't defend that any longer.
No, I really do. I agree. I think it's going to come down to her deciding that she needs to make a change if she wants to have a future in the sport, which I think she could be a great top tier fighter and have success against other well-rounded MMA fighters because when you learn how to strike, you don't just stand there and get your fucking head popped off like a punching bag like she's done twice in a row now.
If she did that though, she could be an incredibly talented fighter.
Of course, that's the tragic part of this whole situation is like she is so amazing at one thing, and if she just sharpened up her game around the edges with the rest of the mixed martial arts, then she could be unbelievable. It's a lot like when Damian Maia came into the sport of MMA, a world jiu-jitsu champ, like a world-renowned jiu-jitsu practitioner. Everyone in jiu-jitsu knew who he was. He was amazing. But at the end of the day, it's not jiu-jitsu, it's MMA. So he was struggling. He was a mid-tier fighter. He would lose to strikers and wrestlers. And so finally he was like, yo, I need to learn how to punch. Mm-hmm. I need to learn how to fucking punch and box. And he did. And now he's literally one of the best in his division because he learned how to round out himself. He's an expert at one thing and he's decent at the rest. And that's what Ronda could be.
Damian Maia is close to 40 now?
He's not young. Yeah, he's in his mid to late 30s, I think.
If you're that gifted in one particular area of MMA and you round out your game and, given your physical condition stays okay, you can, as an older person, continue to fight in this sport.
And fight for the title. Isn't he like in the top 3 right now?
Exactly.
Damian Maia is such a great example of an MMA fighter learning how to become from a specialist in one thing to a specialist as well as a fighter and a competitor and all the other things. Mixed martial arts. It's not just one martial art. That's like the troubling thing.
Everyone is hoping for Ronda and saying that. I mean, there's a lot of nasty shit that's being said about her
I know,
on the
garbage.
internet.
It's really sad, but
most of it should be directed towards the fact that this Edmund Darvardian, literally stole her career from her.
Yeah, he robbed her.
He manipulated her. He, told her that they were training, that everything was good, that he's world class, that she's a great striker. It's a great disservice and it's incredibly sad.
Well, something I said to you the other day when we were talking about this, and I want to bring it up here because I think it's really important. I train jiu-jitsu. I've trained jiu-jitsu for years. I have been around the sport of MMA for a lot of years. I used to cover it. I actually went to MMA gyms shooting video and interviewing professional UFC fighters.
Yeah, Julian's interviewed a lot of people.
So I've spent a lot of time around professional UFC fighters, professional MMA fighters, top tier fighters in the gym and also just interviewing them wherever. And one thing I've really, really strongly come to understand is that as an MMA fighter, and I think this applies to a lot of sports, but as an MMA fighter, your training consists of, they like to say, iron sharpens iron, right? You're not going in the gym to come out feeling good. You don't go to the gym to be like, oh, everyone's pumping me up. Everyone's telling me I'm great. Every pad I hit sounds great. Oh, it's all good. You don't go for that feeling. You
get
go
your ass beat every day.
You go to find your flaws.
Right.
And you go to expose those flaws over and over and over in training until they're not there anymore. Mm-hmm. And that sucks. That's a brutal life. And some of these fighters have to go through some of the worst, most dark, like violent, hard, injury prone training sessions over and over for years to become the fighters that they become. Right. And what I think is Ronda went into the gym every day and had her ego pumped up by Edmund, because that was a way for Edmund to keep her controlled. And it, you know, maybe her ego could have handled a true MMA training gym, or maybe it couldn't have, but we'll never know unless she were to go try it out.
Well, I had read in that article, this may or may not be right or wrong because I haven't looked into it myself, that she had some public spats with her judo coaches in the past. Is that true?
I think I read something about that too, yeah. Well, her mom was a judo coach for a while, but yeah, I think she's had a history of that. I think
you have a history of not getting along with the people who are, in theory, like in power, control position
and trying
of your
to
life.
better you by doing things.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have these sort of really public fights or whatever with your coaches, it doesn't, maybe we'll give you the benefit of the doubt that maybe those coaches weren't a good fit, or maybe they were wrong, because coaches can be fucking wrong all the time.
Yeah.
But maybe that doesn't give the best indicator of how she would take a true striking coach. Is feedback, you know what I mean?
Yeah, how can she handle feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
because I've had bad coaches. You've had bad coaches.
Of course.
You know that one of the only ways to ever win in that situation is to like shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, just take their advice and shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that you are not the coach. They are.
Right.
Even if you think they're wrong, you're not the coach.
Exactly. Until you have an opportunity to maybe switch teams or go somewhere else. Like when I was in college, I had a coach that I very openly disagreed with, and it got me nothing but trouble until I just shut my fucking mouth.
My junior year of high school was the same way. My junior year of high school,
I shut my mouth my entire life to all of my coaches except for one who was doing some off the field, very not okay things. Yeah. And I said something, and I was in spring training. She benched me. I was supposed to start. She fucking benched me.
The literal same thing happened to me.
My mom was like, "Why aren't you on the field?" And I was like, "Dude, fucking that bitch benched me."
Yep. My junior year, I was in high school. I was a catcher, and I was a junior on varsity starting, right? And I started and I played the first entire half of the season consecutively. And I remember that specifically because one of our pitchers, Tyler Skaggs, had 40 scouts in the back. And so every game I caught of his, it was like crazy. It was amazing. And I got into it with my coach all the time because I hated him, and everyone hated him, but I particularly hated him because he would try to alter the game. He would try to control how I caught, which is a very, pitcher catcher relationship type thing. He would fuck with that. And we would collide heads all the time. And then suddenly, mid-season, I'm not starting anymore. And then for the rest of the season, he put in a worse defensive catcher than me. And it was because I couldn't just shut the fuck up. And you learn that as an athlete. And part of me really believes that if Ronda were to, or even in the future goes to a Greg Jackson or a TriStar, or AK, whatever, anywhere with real coaches, she would have a learning curve, but she would eventually fit in and learn how to be a teammate and learn how to better herself with tough training.
Because, where she is, although there are some other people that have gone to Glendale to have Edmund train, she's not necessarily part of a team culture.
No, there is no team culture.
Exactly. So if she did, and judo is not a team sport, like I think there's a reason and a type of person that maybe thrives in an individual sport.
100%.
And Ronda is a person that thrives in an individual sport because all of her hard work pays off for just her, and there's no one else around her that she wants to blame for not putting in the same level of effort or work or whatever. If she truly decided now how old is she? 30?
Yeah, something like that. 29, 30.
29-year-old, 30-year-old woman that hey, I need to understand what it's like to rely on other people and delegate some of this work around, which includes your coach knowing what's right for you and you listening to them instead of you needing to know everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? She had someone in her corner 100%. That was a really good cornerman. Like, it takes a lot of learning, though. It takes
a lot of learning.
When you're so used to doing it all yourself in your mind.
She had that learning curve with judo. She has to have, because she became one of the best in the world in judo. Right. So the thing is, she starts judo, and from the point when she started that sport to winning a bronze in the Olympics in judo, there is a lot of learning. But when she's learned enough to be that good, she immediately is a top the game. Yeah. And that doesn't happen in MMA. No one's that high. Right. And even the people who are champs, they have team of fighters around them who are constantly exposing different flaws. Right. And so for her, she was like, oh, I'm the best in judo now. Right. So I can take that mindset to MMA, which you can't do in MMA. And you're right. There's just zero team atmosphere. There's zero team at Glendale. So, you know, well, I guess we'll see. I really do hope that she can find her way to a real camp, and
I hope she does too. I think most people do, you know?
Yeah, but I'm fully expecting her to retire. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not expecting her to fight again under Edmond. I think even she isn't dumb enough to do that. This is her
rock bottom one way or another. Yeah. I think it's either retirement or square one. I have my fingers crossed for square one because I'd like to see her fight again.
Me too. I personally think that she could really lift her head up.
Don't you? Oh my God, what are you doing?
Speaking of lift, this episode is brought to you by Lyft. Ladies, are you an actress who wants to make money in between jobs, or are you looking for a job right now? Or maybe you're at school and you have some hours of free time where you can be making some money. Lyft is great for you. You can become a driver right now. It is very easy. There are other ride-sharing apps out there, but everyone likes driving for Lyft best because they treat their drivers right. There's a really flexible way to make money. You pick your own hours. You drive in your own car. What did I do? I'm just talking about driving for Lyft pays up to $35 an hour, and getting started is fast and easy. You can drive mornings, nights, weekend, or you can literally just flip into driver mode if you have some free time and you're out. Only Lyft drivers can earn tips from within the app, and those add up fast. Also, you don't have to wait days or weeks to get paid. You can cash out instantly with Express Pay. It's super flexible. You keep your own tips, and you get paid when you need the extra cash. Ladies, right now, if you're looking for some sort of way to make some money, Lyft is a great way to do it. Right now, you can get a $500 driver bonus by going to Lyft.com/Jenna Julien. That's Lyft.com/Jenna Julien. Thank you, Lyft. Our other sponsor this week is the beautiful and wonderful Nature Box, the company that makes strawberry carrot fruit chews my bae to the stars. I love them so much. The Mesa Crisp. They have over 100 delicious snacks. Tasty, made with simple ingredients, and they deliver it right to your door, so you can always have something better to snack on without feeling guilty. And it's really great. Right now, you can go to naturebox.com/Jenna Julien, and you get your 2 free snacks. But the way it works is you go pick your snacks, they send them to your house, and you eat them. It's that simple. And if you don't like a snack, you can get your refund on that snack. I doubt you will dislike it because all their snacks are delicious. But right now, you get your 2 free snacks and you can try it out. And you can avoid the guilt because Nature Box is made with real ingredients. And we don't have any because I ate all of it.
I need some Nature Box.
It's just the story of my life.
I'm hungry and hungover from New Year's, and I need Nature Box.
I know, Nature Box is great. So right now, guys, if you want to have awesome snacks, go to naturebox.com/Jenna Julien. They have a great variety, and they're constantly adding new snacks based on customer feedback, which is really cool. They're adding new snacks all the time. They don't stay the same, and you can get any of the snacks you'd like right now. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. Can you just lay here like this?
New year, new sponsors. Just kidding. Those are sponsors.
Our OG fam. Can you just lay here like this?
Are you doing a laycast?
Laycast 2K17.
Laycast. We're probably out of focus now.
Now is that time when we just start writing the wrong date on all of your things.
Yeah. So how long is that period going to last?
Like at least a year.
Until next Mariah Carey performance?
Yeah. I've been writing 1995 on all of my papers, actually.
Is that when you were born?
Hell no.
Joking.
Dog.
Marlon was born in 95.
Okay, Julian, do you know what year I was born in?
86. I know your birthday by heart. I say it all the time. You know that.
I know you were born in 1992, baby.
92, baby. It's pussy. It's the pussy. I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries in 92. I was a 90s kid. That face when you're a 90s kid?
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. All right, so what do you hope happens next year? This year. Wait, no, this year. It's already next year, so.
I mean, so much.
Like what?
I want another dog.
Okay, me too.
Wholeheartedly, I just want another dog. I'd say it's one of the top asked questions is when are you guys getting another dog? And we always say, oh, we want another dog. But like, I really feel like we need to wait until we don't rent anymore. But we want to rescue a greyhound. We've been looking into it hardcore. Although there are some ways to bypass, maybe.
There are as well. There's emotional support dogs, which a greyhound could absolutely be, no question. I want a dog too, and I think we can accomplish it in 2017. The only thing is, like, I agree with you with the renting thing. And for right now, it looks like we'll be renting for about at least another year, right? I mean, at least. So
yeah,
we'll see though. You never know, because we might have a change in heart to where we decide to go, you know, look at a greyhound adoption and we fall in love with one, and then we decide that's what we're going to do. But yeah, you know, after having Archer and Sydney come over and stay the night and finding them and just interacting them, having them around the house, that was it. That was really it. I mean, we could talk about wanting a new dog as much as we wanted, but having two in the house like that.
So ridiculous.
It was, yeah, that's kind of pushed us over the edge.
I'd say that's my biggest goal for 2017. Is figuring out how to do it and making it happen. And fuck everything else.
I like that.
Like, I get a little nervous that when you have 3 little dogs and then you have a big dog that all of a sudden has slightly different needs because it's a big dog. Like, we go to the dog park, we can't just take them all into that little area. No, big guy's got to go over the big area.
Yep. But it's like,
then we got you in one side and me on the other side of the dog park.
We could just like go to the fence and talk.
And just wave to each other.
I would love to go to that big dog park and like let her run around.
But we can do it. I just got to stop like thinking about it in my mind, because once you have the dog and then you're like, oh, this is my life now. Then then you don't think about anything. It's just great.
Oh, it's just great. We saw a greyhound that looked exactly like Peach, and we were thinking of naming it Peach.
Peach 2.
And like just calling them both Peach.
No. Peach and Peach 2.
How confused would they be though?
Peach 2, come here. Peach 2, come here. And Beep and Boop.
And Beep and Boop.
What do you want for 2017?
I think I can get my purple belt in 2017.
Ooh.
I'd like that. I think that's a reasonable goal. I think I can do it. I'd like Apple to get their head out of their ass and give us phones that don't die by noon.
Oh, shots fired.
No, I'm like sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. My phone has to be charged by a Mophie or an external pad 5 times a day. It's a joke.
It is pretty awful.
And it's not how my phone used to be.
Yeah.
It's like they're releasing software updates that overwhelm my phone to the point where it can't last.
It's pretty trash.
I hate that. That's one of my resolutions, but I can't control it.
One of your resolutions is for Apple. My New Year's resolution is keep my name out your motherfucking mouth.
That's your resolution for other people to keep your name out of it.
No, anything else that you want? Because I have another conspiracy theory for you.
I'm going to be releasing a collection of pins every single month this year.
That's right. I've seen the ideas.
You've seen the books, yep. And I'm fucking so pumped about it. I think, since I know I'm going to do that, I think my goal is to just further the pin brand that I've kind of created,
That's
right?
pretty cool.
Like get deeper into the pin world so that...
It's cool that pins are like really coming back.
I love that they're coming back. I love it for so many reasons. The flair of it, the collector's items of it, and you can create something really cool and have it be existing in a 3-dimensional object. I also love that they're super affordable.
Yeah.
All right. What's your conspiracy?
I know someone tweeted this at me, and I liked it because I like things. Anyways, that the internet insists that Sinbad played a genie in a movie called Shazam. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw that. What the fuck? Shazam is a movie. It's a movie, right? People are saying now it doesn't exist or something?
Yeah, and well, the reason that I remembered this, and it's funny when you see this now, was because when the app Shazam came out, I was like, wait, but aren't they going to have trouble with that trash Sinbad movie?
Because it's a movie, yeah.
And I looked it up when Shazam came out and I found nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I guess I'm just an idiot. Like, I guess it was Kazam with Shaq.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was Shazam.
No. There's another movie called Kazam with Shaq or whatever the fuck.
Oh.
That's why I was like, maybe I'm confused and thinking of something else. But then I was like, no, that exists. But I feel like that's how a lot of these Mandela, people are saying maybe it's Mandela, or maybe we're just having, collective thoughts that never happen. But I think that happens a lot with people that discover sort of Mandela effects. Your first response is like, well, I must be kind of crazy then, Like the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah,
like,
you immediately feel like, oh, I'm nuts.
That Strangers Dimensions website, I was the guy that I think originally wrote about it, like literally detailed his thought process of what was happening, and he was like, I just figured that I was going crazy, you know, because there's no proof of that sort of thing on the internet. Because when the app Shazam came out and you Google Sinbad Shazam movie, literally nothing shows up. So you're like, there's no theories or Mandela effects that show up. So you're like, oh, I'm just a stupid person.
So how does a movie that literally existed just go from existing to non-existing? What if you had a DVD of it?
No, nothing exists. Nothing on IMDb, nothing on it's gone. But a lot of people remember seeing it, including myself, because I remember physically like looking it up when the app Shazam came out.
What the fuck? Is there a team of people scrubbing the internet and the world of things like this to just like...
I don't know, but hold on.
No, dude.
Listen to this, though.
Fucking tripped out right
this says, Sinbad says he will do a genie movie because of the internet.
What?
Earlier this week, New Statesman dug into a bizarre phenomenon. Hundreds of Redditors who have decided a Sinbad movie called Shazam, in which the stand-up comic plays a genie, exists, in spite there being no real evidence that it does.
Oh my God.
And Sinbad himself denying it. He said it never did, that movie never happened. Shazam is one of a number of apparent collective delusions being shared on the Mandela Effect subreddit, named for a popular shared misconception that former South African President Nelson Mandela died in prison. Now, though, it may become reality, just so people will stop talking about it. The New Statesman story interviewed several Redditors who genuinely believed that they had seen the film or physically held a VHS copy in the 90s.
Which they did.
Their claims were variously that the movie was recalled because Sinbad considered it an embarrassment, that the film was buried due to a lawsuit from DC Comics over their trademark for Shazam, or that some kind of space-time anomaly has occurred and only they could remember that at one point the movie really did exist.
That's the only explanation.
Yeah, the last one is a common explanation for the Mandela Effect, and that's a little sci-fi for most people's taste. That claim is generally not a joke. Apparently, these fans have been so determined to prove a negative for so long that it's frustrated Sinbad. And after this week's story went live and thrust the controversy into the spotlight, he's been getting inundated with messages on Twitter. Eventually, he figured if you can't beat him, join him, and said he would make the movie so we can close this chapter. And then from Sinbad's Twitter, okay, for all you people who think I did a genie movie, well, haven't done one yet, but I am going to do one so we can close this chapter.
What the fucking hell, dude? Is this tripping you out?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. It's not. Nothing surprises me.
It's weird,
because I'm so into this stuff that I'm like, of course Shazam doesn't exist because I looked it up years ago. It's a space-time
continuum thing. It's the Mandela Effect in action. There's no actual logistical way to just like scrub something out of the history books like that. Like the way Berenstain happened, the Berenstain Bears. There's no way to fucking do that. You can't go into people's houses and change the cover of a book. You can't go into someone's houses and take a VHS copy of Shazam. You can't go on to... What if someone had a poster of that movie? Because there were movie posters. And it's just not there on their wall. Like, there's no way.
That's just Mandela Effect.
That's no way. There's no way.
It's all Mandela Effect.
No, I disagree. No, I agree. I just disagree with the way I'm feeling.
You want it to stop?
Yeah, I want it to stop.
Why don't you disagree with your feelings hard enough that it stops?
Then you throw your feelings up.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. You're like, sadness. Hello? Oh, no one was there.
Why were you talking to my phone? But yeah, that was crazy. When I saw that one, I was like, holy shit. Yeah, because I remembered looking it up and there was nothing.
Yeah.
I wish that I had thought of it later and looked it up, and then there was an explanation of the Mandela Effect, because I'd be like, oh, tight, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I need to do better of when I think of these things, of writing them down. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Well, this teaches you that, right?
Yeah. When you notice something, just write it down.
Speaking of dreams.
Yeah. I've
started taking the SNAC brand of ZMA. If you don't know what I just said, it's okay. But if you do, you know what I said.
Blacked out,
it's a new ZMA that I'm trying, and it's made by the creator of ZMA. And my dreams have been
Why don't you tell people what ZMA
vivid.
is?
ZMA is zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. It's a supplement generally for men, but for any active person who
I've taken it.
You've taken it. It's good.
You take it at night.
You take it at night. It helps you recover. It helps you get into a deeper sleep and wake up more rested. And I've taken it for years and years and years, almost like 10 years now, probably more actually. But I've just recently, for whatever reason, only started the SNAC brand, which is made by Victor Kant, who created ZMA as a supplement. And this brand of the ZMA is so much more potent than any other brand I've ever had that my dreams have been so fucking vivid, so real. Every single night I take it. So that was my lead into, I'm going to start keeping my journal by my bedside, and we're going to have a dream podcast coming up.
I have one really long story. You remember when I did it?
Yeah.
I woke up and I was like, that dream was so ridiculous. I'm going to write everything I can remember as fast as I can. Yeah. And I have not looked at it since, but it is like, a couple scrolls worth on my notepad.
That's part of what you have to do, is you have to write it all out and then not look at it again until we're on the podcast. So
and then we can read them.
I'm working on that. I promise.
All right, I'll try to do that too. Shake hands. Okay, I don't want to play patty cake, dog. What the fuck?
Eep, beep, beep. Pussy. Anything else you're hoping for next year or this year? Or are you pretty good with that?
I'm pretty good. I just want a dog. I want another dog.
Another dog too.
And I want to not rent our house because I'm sick of our leaks and stuff. Yeah. But I do love our house. I love living. I do too. I love living here with you.
I love living here with you.
Oh, you sweet ew. Make sure you unsubscribe below.
Don't unsubscribe. No, do not. I will not approve. Don't unsubscribe. We're doing well. Keep it going. Thank you guys so much for listening to another podcast. We really appreciate you guys. And I'm speaking for myself, but I know Jenna is. We're very excited for another awesome year of podcasting with you guys. So very excited.
Ding Fam
2K17. We hope you guys have a great week. Check out the sponsors in the description below, and we will see you next Monday.